enigmatic Kitty Winter, Ophelia Lovibond. Sherlock Holmes himself, Jonny Jonny, let's sort of jump in. We just saw this emotionally tense and great episode. Let's sort of jump in with the most obvious question. What is it about Kitty Winter that says to Sherlock, this could be the next Joan Watson?
Well, there's some stuff that I guess that we don't see that's happened. You know, we find out some more things about Kitty, which I'm not going to reveal right now. You know, she comes from she's had some not so great experiences. Yeah, you know, probably an understatement there. But as far as the detective skills go, I think there's obviously been some experiences there, pretty much the same experiences that you would have had with Joan.
Nice. Lucy, so Joan and Sherlock's relationship is obviously open to being repaired at the end of the episode, and the fact that Kitty and Sherlock are going to be at the NYCC with her. Do you think there's an opportunity for Joan to be a mentor to Kitty as well?
It's going to be a cat fight. I think the tension that is built in the first episode is an interesting way to layer what's going to happen in season 3. That, you know, it's not just going to be between Watson and Sherlock. I think there's going to be, you know, they're fractured, and I'm not sure if it's about repairing it. It's about change, and change is very hard for everyone. It's hard for her to hear that he thinks she's replaceable, which makes her not a unique person or a special person, and that he left very abruptly. You know, there's a lot of emotional hurt there, and at the same time she's trying to mask it by being this independent detective. But I do think that there's a possibility for her to take Kitty under her wing, but it has to be done in a very delicate manner, and I think there has to be, you know, a semblance of that. But I think the friction is something that I appreciate a little bit, because it adds a little bit of interest, color.
Do you think that's maybe another sort of olive branch or peace offering in Sherlock's own little way to Joan?
You mean having Kitty?
Yeah, having the opportunity to mentor Kitty with him.
I don't think he sees it as something that's painful. I think he's like, look, I'm a teacher, and that's what I was, you know, meant to do, and so I've got someone else now, you know, and can I come back to the precinct? I don't think he sees the pain that it's caused her, you know, because it's a really quick look that she gives him when he says, you know, she's someone that I think that's what I can do, and you know, it's hard to hear you've been replaced, and you know, in any relationship, and I think it's going to change the way that their dynamic is, you know, because I think she was very amazed by him before, and she still is, but the magic has a little bit of has been, you know, a little bit sort of, the shine is a little bit off.
Ophelia, obviously Kitty is here to do a really great job and become like the next great detective, but as we saw with her scene with Joan, she obviously has her own agenda. I'm sure you can't tell us too much about that, but how would you say it's going to affect this investigative trio?
Well, she certainly shapes up that dynamic. I don't think she really anticipates how. She sees Watson as competition, I suppose, that she finds that threatening. So in terms of them investigating everything together, that gets in the way of her investigative skills a little bit, but you see that gets smoothed out over the series.
John, can you talk a little bit about how the character of Kitty Winter came to play a season sort of main character arc, and also what made Ophelia right for her?
First, can I say it's so great to have these guys here. It was amazing to watch the show with so many people, so thank you very, very much for coming, guys. Also, you know, we make a TV show, and you know, the idea of actually seeing it with the audience is really a dream come true. To answer your question about Kitty, Well, we ended season 2 knowing that, you know, Sherlock would have to come back with a new partner / protege or whatever it was. And then Rob Doherty, our creator, our incredibly talented creator, was rereading some of the original stories over the break. And he read one of the stories called The Adventure of the Illustrious Client. And Kitty Winter is a character in that story. And you know, she's a very, very interesting, not a huge character. She's not the main character in that story, but she's very interesting, very active woman. And he was inspired by that. And the more we talked about it internally, the more right she seemed for this new protege for Sherlock. So that's really how it came about, and we're excited. We got it done, and we're very excited that Ophelia could join us.
Ophelia, how was your experience coming into a very sort of seasoned show as basically its 3rd star character?
I think that's a very generous description. I mean, it was initially daunting because they'd done 2 seasons already, so it was the prospect of entering into those kind of already established relationships was a little bit daunting, but it was immediately allayed when I got onto set. Everyone was so friendly, it was so easy to just slip straight into a very well-oiled machine. It's really fun. They're very
Some more than others.
Can you guys maybe tease for us a little bit who we might see return over the course of the season? Moriarty? Mrs.
Well, there's not a lot we can give away, but we're definitely looking around, exploring all sorts of ideas. We had an incredible time, obviously, with Natalie Dormer playing Moriarty, and we're always looking for a way to bring her back. Risa Funds as Mycroft, Harlan Eckel, so many of the characters that we've had a great time with in the first couple of seasons. We're exploring, we're looking, and you're right, I am sort of teasing it, so there's not a lot we want to give away, but watch the show, because there's some really very, very cool stuff coming up this season.
There is a tortoise making an appearance.
I'm sure we'll be seeing Clyde, though, at the very least.
Absolutely.